After 5 months of living with an orange kitchen, we finally painted it with colors that are not only easier on the eyes, but it fits the overall feel of the house better. And we are so excited to get rid of this orange. Hello everyone! Today I am painting the trim in our kitchen. A few weeks ago, Jared actually painted the walls in here to help get rid of a lot of the orange. And I've been testing out a couple of different colors that I wanted to do on the trim and on the doors themselves. So let me show you what colors I've chosen. The three colors were Rojo Marrón, Java, and French Press. I was pretty sold on French Press for a time until I swatched the other door with Rojo Marrón, and that's what I ultimately decided on. So this one's French Press, and it's really not coming up on camera, but this one's Rojo Marrón. The difference is that this one has a lot more red undertones, and the other one's a bit more of like a true brown, so I guess like a yellow undertone versus red. And this is what we're gonna go with for all the doors and trim. Earlier today, I took a wet cloth and just wiped down all the baseboards and the door to get rid of any dust. And then I rinsed it out and did another pass on it. So all of these are dry now, and I'm just gonna tape, and then I'm probably gonna prime everything for the sake of the color being consistent. But because this is a dark color, I probably wouldn't necessarily need to stain. And from the test that I've done, I really do like the way that this paints over the orange. However, because I've done all of these tests, and I did a test with a color that was much darker, I certainly need to prime. So gonna go through, tape everything, prime, and then paint, and hopefully I can get at least this section done before Jared gets home, because I want to put the radiator cover back on. It's been off of the radiator, which is fine, but it's kind of just in the way right now where it is. So want to knock all of this out in the next few hours, and then put the radiator back on and move on. Oh no. I should probably just remove this so that I can paint it. I don't want to. This little crack right here is so difficult to tape, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the trim so that way I don't go between getting too much paint and primer on the wall and the cabinet and just avoid a whole mess. ton of nails in this one, but that one at the top was really giving me a run for my money. It's still in the wall, actually. Yeah, now I feel a lot more comfortable painting because that would have been impossible. I decided to tape everything off on the door just because if we have to call our security company for any sort of assistance, I don't want them to say that I've tampered with anything by removing it. So went ahead and just taped everything up. Normally I would remove the doorknob as well as the sensors at the top, but that is why I am taping here. Okay, perfect. Oh, it's just such a little piece. whenever I did samples, the door trim was just not enough for me. So what I did was I went over and painted the two side doors here, so this one and this one, with the samples as well. So now I'm gonna remove them, sand them down, and then prime and paint them because they're really bumpy, like just from previous paint. So gonna do that, make them nice and smooth, and then reattach them. I also want to clean up the hardware a little bit because it is painted over as well. That was from Jared though. Whenever he painted the kitchen, he kind of just painted over some of these. So I need to clean up the hardware on these as well, and then they'll be so pretty. Oh, those walls need to be cleaned too. I'm gonna have to clean and paint the insides of these as well. Fun little fact for you, we've been in this house since December and these areas have not been deep cleaned. So whenever I get back from Louisiana next week, I am doing a deep clean on this entire kitchen. I'm going to take everything out of the cabinets, everything out of these little, I don't know what they're called, they're little cubbies. Remove everything out of this and then just completely scrub everything. It's gonna be a deep spring cleaning. I've been looking for a place to sand these down. Right now we're on the island and I think I finally found a solution. I did paint the backs already without doing any sanding. However, I want to make sure the fronts are smooth because we see the fronts all the time, whereas the back, we barely open these doors. So what I did was I set up a cloth in our sunroom, and I think that sanding in the sunroom will be the best bet. It's so cold in the garage. I don't want to be out there for longer than I have to be. And then in the basement, we have our boiler and water heater and things, and I just don't feel comfortable sanding in the basement. So I think that the sunroom is it. Overall, these doors are in pretty rough shape, so all I did was just knock down some high spots. Eventually they are going to have to be replaced, but I'm not that concerned with them at this time because I'm going to redo the whole kitchen eventually. So for now, I'm just going to prime them as is and then go over the front with some paint and then be able to put them back up. surprised we don't have very many birds today. Usually by this time I'd hear a lot of the birds. But it's been fairly quiet. I guess because it's still a little chilly out. All of the hardware is in pretty rough shape in the kitchen. The paint's peeling off of it. So my initial plan was to maybe get some rub and buff and do gold hardware instead. However, I decided against it and just sprayed these all in a satin black. I also really struggled with this screw right here, so enjoy watching that. Don't particularly know how to put this back, but I think that probably supporting here and then aligning the holes there might work. I don't know. I just need a helping hand. Whoa! Or maybe a shoe. Can I do that? No. I need one of those lifty thingies.
You need a hobby.
I made myself some shims out of some sticks here, some painter sticks, so that I could hold the door in place and tackle this myself. There we go. you. Perfect. Actually, let me just go ahead and close this. Yes. I got it. God, that looks so good. I'll be very honest. One of these was flipped and it threw me off so badly that like it took me a very long time to figure out how to put these on correctly. So I have them on, and then I'm just gonna do exactly what I did with that door. Put some shims under it, lift it up, and then attach it. There is like an air pump that you can place under doors to lift them. I need to buy one, I just haven't bought one yet. So for now, shims are gonna be it, and then I'll just attach this, and the kitchen's done. Have Chewy here to assist today. All paws on deck, really. Just close it. Perfect. Right. It works. Yay. Perfect. Getting rid of this orange is incredible. Obviously you can see it still here, but just to have this full space totally de-oranged is beyond words incredible. So good. I love it. Buddy. Mom put a bed in here just for you. No, I know my baby. Thank you.